Welcome to Super Stuff Unboxed.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Super Stuff Unboxed. Today we're going to be unboxing this Superboy DC Direct Page Punchers McFarlane Toys. Includes exclusive comic book and comparing him to some other iterations of Superboy that are out there. You'll have to excuse my voice. I kind of forgot that it was this bad when I started the recording. All right, we've got ourselves here the classic Superboy Connor that came as a result of Superman dying in the 90s. He was one of the 4 Supermen that came back after Superman died. He was a clone of Lex and Superman mixed together, aged up, of course, which is going to make me a hypocrite about complaining about this character being aged up. So these are the looks. Connor kind of in the 90s. He also is the same guy later on and just kind of rocked that t-shirt. The head is definitely like that Lex part of him I was referring to, being half Lex and half Superman. And then technically this character kind of is, but this is the new 52 iteration and the older figure, not that new DC Multiverse page puncher that's out. We've got some old Superboy primes, which isn't really a Superboy, but since he shares the name, he is a Superman kind of from an alternate dimension. And I love customizing that guy. This one's just had his diaper or trunks painted blue, kind of like in this modern area where he's pretending to be good for a little bit. And this one, Sinestro Core Warrior. All right, just that character you can get pretty cheap currently if these iterations are too much for you. Plus, honestly, those are pretty good for your money compared to these days. We're gonna pull these out of scene and tell you that this is the biological son of Superman and Lois Lane, Jonathan Kent. Now, unfortunately, he was an awesome Super Son character, teaming up with Damian Wayne, both being kids. But then Superman's dad, Jor-El, came back to be Grandpa. The character got aged up. Then he got aged up so man, he kind of became a Superman himself. Anyways, this figure is a pretty cheap Superboy. Aged up John Kent, but not yet aged up enough to be Superman. Definitely a cool head sculpt on this character, if nothing else, and something that could easily look pretty cool with a cape. Okay. Super cool Superboy. Here we go. The actual nuts and bolts of what it's all about. Connor. A lot of people are trying to mix and match these two, getting the jacket and arms off of this one and onto the other. I think that might be a little bit more accurate. I actually do have the Shadow King glasses that might actually even work well. We can try in some video somewhere online. Well, I'm super excited about getting this open, and these are a little bit different. I like, instead of using the X-Acto that has a new blade today, this gigantic scissors. And which way? This one would probably bend and open easier, but let's just go this way because it'll be easier to cut. strip completely off. Another strip completely off pretty quick. Hey, my voice isn't that bad. I'm trying not to get this comic. Ooh, that is absolutely, I should have shown you guys the comic before. Well, it was in the package, but I guess it was in the carousel to open the video. All right, this is what I was talking about with that coat and the Shadow King glasses. Check this out. Okay, it's just, ooh, look at the layers. Okay. And this just pull. Okay, this is different. This layer is excuse everything. Man, what a mess. Okay, this is cool. We've got the card. Reign of Tomorrow. This is the comic. This was the look in the 90s. This was how he debuted. And it does look like putting them side by side. You could definitely pull off some cool kid bashing. So cool. People really like these boots and this being the bottom accurate, but he didn't have a coat. This solves that. Wow. That looks pretty cool. All right, we'll see if I end up doing something like that. All right, the comic is definitely a reprint, just so we're clear. Looks like they have a pretty cool stand that says DC on it. And a pretty standard collector card with all McFarlane things, but this Superboy. Okay, Con L, 1993. Wow, it happened to be The Adventures of Superman, number 500 he debuted in. Number 500 in the 90s is so cool. Wow. I never really realized that. Okay, for hands, it looks like we got ourselves. Ooh, this is kind of hard to get out. We've got ourselves a thumbs up. A red thumbs up. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. You know, you don't always actually get stuff like that. This hand actually looks like it might be slightly different. Dude, these page puncher lines are killing it. Sometimes they're really hard to get ones. Oh, okay, cool. Kind of your outstretch. Reaching. Michelangelo hand. And now, let's test out this new X-Acto. Some of these can be really hard. That's why I like pulling the blade towards myself instead of cutting it in towards the figure, but still, oh, dude, I should have changed this X-Acto blade out ages ago. If you watch some of the older videos, man, I've been doing bad things. All right, here we go. Justice. Oh my gosh. Let the kid bashing begin. Oh, look at these knees. You can see some pins. That's all right. Look at that. Okay. The belt is completely just two separate bands? No, it's joined here. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. This dude looks awesome. Which one is the one? You guys feeling frisky? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Feeling frisky live on the video. That was a split-second decision. But if you're going to do something, let's do it right. Oh my gosh. I would have to destroy this figure. I am not about to do that. No way, man. Oh, look at that sleeve with the S. No, it is stuck. I would have to change the bottom and then the head. For this guy, and keep this one. I could put with those hands on. Just change the legs out and bottom. Yeah, that's not happening on this video live. Yeah, okay, we'll see. Maybe not. They're pretty sweet. All right. You'll be able to get a much closer look on the carousel soon. You know, DC Multiverse for articulation, this is pretty much all there is to show you. They're pretty standard at this point, but an absolutely cool looking figure. These page punchers are coming strong. Oh, this little wrist, maybe that's something to show you. Look how different the wrist is. Is the slide? Does it slide off? Can I make this? Yeah. I can make this cover a ball on a different character. If I was like into that kind of kit banishing level of stuff. All right, thank you so much for watching Super Stuff Unboxed. We appreciate you. We'll catch you next time. Let's take some pics. Yeah.